What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of The Bunker, our pre-show that we do before we start our GSL Codas, which is going to be a very special GSL Codas. Great PvP coming up here.
Yep, semifinals, PvP.
Artosis, say something?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the camera, and I like Reed's new look.
This is
mustache goatee. I think that's.
They don't know who I am.
They don't know who you are
my-
because his eyes
I
are
have my
covered.
eyes shrouded.
Like,
in
is
dark.
that,
we're like,
is that
but
rapid
who's
or
that?
no regret?
Well, I mean, we're basically the same except for the hat, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we got our chat open here. If you guys want to interact with us, ask us some questions before the day starts, now's your time to do it.
Should we start off with a tasteless wristwatch? Ta-da! It's still
Got
there.
8 more days.
8 days?
8 more days remaining.
You should calculate that in hours.
Oh, I
24
would
times
math.
8.
I don't know, man. Math.
160 plus 4 times 8, which is 32, 192.
So
Oh
about
my
200
God,
hours.
You're so smart, Artosis.
About 200 hours of wearing the cast. Then I get x-rayed. We find out if it's the bone's fully healed. And if it is, then I probably have like maybe 5 or 6 days of trying to regain my hand muscles, maybe some physical therapy. But I'll soon be back.
I
Soon.
can't wait. I can't wait to have you on the StarCraft Remastered ladder.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I got to get my stream set up, get some overlays, everything like that. Then I will be there. How are you enjoying streaming, Artosis?
It's fun. Yeah, I'm having a blast streaming every day, just about. And yeah, it's just fun to be playing some Brood War again.
Have you been playing at all?
I've been watching a lot more than I play because they just had like the ASL qualifiers.
Oh, right,
So,
yeah.
watched a lot of those. They actually broadcast a lot more of the games than I expected. But it's just really cool to see like players that I hadn't seen play in like years suddenly show up for these qualifiers. And even cool too because it's like what Artosis is going to do next year. Like guys like Firebat Hero who's casting SSL Challenge this year.
Yeah.
Just qualified for ASL. So
Yeah.
We're going to have Tasteless and Artosis and ASL coming up here. We're
they're
getting
just
into
going to move this
form.
desk
Bust
on
down.
stage.
It's going to be a problem because what are we going to do when who's going to cast when we're both in the finals against each other is the real question I'm asking.
They'll just put microphones on you so that we can hear your thoughts like, they're D-Matrix, unseized the tanks.
Your mouth is so funny when you stream Artosis. It's just like look like a cow chewing on cud, man. It's pretty funny.
We should ask for questions if anybody's in chat and has questions for everybody.
Yeah. Now's your chance, guys. You know what always happens is this chat suddenly becomes active like 5 minutes before the show ends. And by then
we're
we've
a
already
little
been
slow.
like, we've gone down some kind of rabbit hole of what we're going to be talking about.
Yeah.
All right, here's a question. How likely do you think a dark GSL victory is? I think it's always a reasonable
It's fairly likely.
thought that dark could win.
Yeah.
He
He might win. We might actually have stats dark GSL finals and SSL finals.
Yeah.
I think for you and me,
And
Artosis.
BlizzCon finals.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And Super Tournament finals.
There you go.
And GSL finals next year. You never know. Maybe this is just the finals for all time.
He just becomes
it's
the
not
greatest player.
statistically likely, but it could happen.
Hey,
It is in the realm of possibility. I think it's kind of weird for you and me because I don't think we've casted Dark winning a tournament, have we?
No, you
No.
and I have.
No,
We've
he won
casted-
SSL, and that's about
That's
it.
right.
So.
For me and Artosis, we haven't actually. We've seen how good he is, and we're fully aware that he's a threat to anybody else. But yeah, we're not. We haven't had the chance to cast that just yet. Why are you guys yawning? Are you yawning because he's yawning?
I yawned first.
it
And
definitely
then
made
so it's
me yawn.
contagious.
He's a sick follower.
Yeah. Wow, that thing that's biological. I have it too.
Yeah. Like, well, you can't yawn, right? Not everybody can yawn. Do they still? They didn't know why people yawn, by the way.
Because you forget to breathe, and your body realizes it's running out of oxygen, so it just really needs oxygen. So you yawn.
Is that really why?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, tell me
not
why.
it. No, I forget what it was exactly, but there's like 3 things that get passed around that people think it is. That like, no, it's actually like,
Well,
it's
what
a
is it?
social cue or something. I can't remember now, but I did read what it was, and it wasn't that.
Somebody out there knows why people yawn.
Let's see here. We're still waiting for more questions to come in here, guys.
That's why I'm going to Google
Yeah.
yawning.
Can I show? off,
actually, let's
I
go
want
with
to show
this.
off my socks. How do you guys like this? Look at.
Depends on what are
Do you
those
see
supposed
this
to be?
socks? This
Yeah.
is a Boston Terrier with sunglasses on. Look, he's even got the
Aw.
little ears.
I like those.
Oh, the ears
How
on
sick is
top.
that? He's got sunglasses.
And
Look at
it's a
that.
matching shock down
Oh,
here
those
as
are
well, right?
Well, yeah, I have 2 of them.
You got 2 of them on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nicely done.
Right?
Let's see what I got going on here.
You're just really
I've got-
showing it off.
Let me show you guys my Milky White.
This is what we've.
These are my. These socks kind of got stripes on them.
What's
These are
your
the last
socks
ones.
wrapping?
I just bought regular white socks the other day, but the fact that I'm buying like articles of clothing for myself, I actually bought like super sick socks, but I didn't.
Can you talk with the mic over here instead? Keep going. I'll hold it for you over here.
Talking to your microphone, you got dust all over it, Artosis.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does have some dust on his mic.
Oh my god.
I got you, man.
this guy. But
You pull your socks up.
I do.
Do you always do
I
that?
pull my socks up, I tighten my belt, and I wear my waist of my pants way up here.
You
I
pull
also,
up here?
Also tuck my shirt in,
Like an
too.
old guy who's going to fight. You know those
No,
guys,
see,
that, like the
so-
boxers, they'd have the pants pulled way up, like
Yeah,
the
man.
diapers.
I'm just preparing for old age. You never
Yeah,
know.
I hear you, man.
we just need to get you a pair of suspenders, bro.
Well, see, that's the thing. Is like I was always like raised that like nice boys tuck in their shirts and they always wear ties all the time, and it's like just kind of stuck around with me.
I think
maybe
that-
into the man I am today.
You know what happened to me is I had to, because I went to like a private all-boys school, which
Yeah.
was horrible. I absolutely hated it, but I had to wear like a collared shirt and
Yeah,
like
same
tuck
here.
it in. And because of that, I think I'm completely rebelling for the rest of my life against that.
See,
That
I had the
notion, I
opposite
don't want to tuck
reaction.
my shirt in. I don't want to wear.
And that's why you'll never stop wearing Converse, and eventually,
Exactly.
eventually you're gonna look like that Johnny Knoxville skit of the old man in the Converse shoes that's walking around with your ball
eventually
sack
that's going
hanging
to be.
out. Like,
I forgot that.
Jesus.
Yeah,
remember
that's-
this one.
That's
It's
basically
so
what I'm
funny.
going for. Yeah, the one where his balls are sticking out. It's like
Yeah.
it looks like gum stuck on his leg or something like that.
You guys are gross.
Yeah, that's the way the human body is.
Eventually,
Rabbit.
you will be that
You will be
character.
that. Yeah. So, someday I'll definitely be that. But I didn't know about that for you as well. Your parents were always pushing
Well,
you to
I
do
also
that.
went to a school that had a dress code, so
Oh, okay.
for my undergrad, and yeah, 5 o'clock you could wear whatever you wanted. So that was the freedom time. But
5 p.m. You could wear whatever you. So that means you get back home from school and you could change into.
Well, no, when I was homeschooled for high school, but for my college, I lived on campus, and so they just had a dress code.
Oh,
So-
that's weird.
Yeah,
okay,
you had to wear
so
dress shoes
a
and a
dress
tie.
code on a college campus. That's not normal for almost
well,
any
there's
college.
nothing normal about my
Right,
undergrad.
right.
But,
Okay, but I was just
yeah.
saying. I was for some
Yeah,
reason thinking high
it was
school.
dress shoes, tie, and a collared shirt until 5, and then you could wear regular shoes and no tie.
So would people actually go back to the rooms and change? Be like,
Yeah,
look at me.
yeah. I mean, it was a whole ecosystem of craziness, so I wouldn't look for too much rationality there.
No, I hear you. That's interesting though, because I knew that about most of your college experience. I didn't know about the dress codes involved there.
Yeah, no, that was super crazy. And then I did my my grad degree at like the most secular state school at
What school was it?
University of Texas at Dallas.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And there were just people walking around like basically naked everywhere and showing up to class in their pajamas,
as it
and I'm
should
like,
be. That's exactly the way college is supposed to
like,
go.
do you even care about this class? People like skipping classes. I'm like, what? Why would you do that? Like,
I know why.
I had a lot of things to figure.
I know why. Tasteless halfway through his first semester. I'm like, well, I've missed 5 classes. And my maximum is 6, so I got to do this right. I'm gonna have a bad half of this semester. Let me see here. Any more questions? You think Shine will have a bag of builds in this ASL? He better, man.
Yeah, he's gonna need it.
I don't think Shine's going to be switching into like proper macro Zerg
No.
every time. I think he's going to be relying on that. And sorry, go ahead. Or you
Stats
wanna
has been phenomenal all year long. When SOS chooses when to peak, and it's always just before BlizzCon.
That's true.
It is kind of remarkable about how he kind of, I don't want to call it a slump, but just like struggles against players you would expect him to be better than, and then just starts getting
Yeah.
like really crazy good right before BlizzCon.
2 things for that. Okay, 1, he's really good under pressure towards the end of the year when
Yeah.
you can actually math it out. SOS has to make the finals to have any shot at BlizzCon.
Right.
He knows this. He's starting to really put his effort in. Second, what's his style? He counters people all the time, and like he abuses you based on a solid metagame. And this is where the meta gets most stale towards the end of the year because our patches are smaller throughout the year, whereas after BlizzCon is when we get big patches and
Right.
big changes. So that
I see
makes
what you're
sense
saying.
that like he can have some success earlier in the year, but it kind of makes sense to me that later in the year when everyone's really settled into a groove, he can just tear people apart at that point. Like he looks stronger, even though like it's not like he has a bad time in the beginning of the year. He does well. It's just I think that like if Innovation knows how the matchup is supposed to go, then SOS is more likely to kill him, I think.
I actually really like what you're saying there, Artosis. I think you could not be more right because SOS is very good at preparing against specific players. The more time he has throughout a year to end up downloading them and getting more of like a chart of how they behave and what builds and strats they like, I think that's very true. In fact, he might be the best at that out of any other player that we have.
Yeah.
It's just trying to counter their styles or play around the meta.
Yeah, he is.
Because it's a good mix of those two
say so.
things. It's
I'd
not
say
just
so.
a hard counter, but he's sort of aware of what they're going to do and tries to outmaneuver them. I think it was in one interview, Mario said that SOS is the most talented player, but also laziest. Did he say that?
I didn't hear that one.
I'm sure there are people lazier than SOS, though.
Well, also, I think
He probably
these pro
means
gamers
amongst
like
top
joke
tier
with each
pros.
other.
Yeah.
Top tier pros, I would say.
Maybe that's a little tongue in cheek because I don't think any of
I'm like, what about all those guys in Bronze League? Like,
yeah, no, those guys are pretty lazy.
I really don't get what's going on here. Like, how can he count them out? Somebody fact check. Somebody give me Mario's phone number. I'm going to call him, let him know he's wrong. Let's see here. Somebody talking about how you chew like a cow. You're getting the taste for the nerd's ladder points.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
You got to digest them.
Yeah.
Put
Isn't
those
that how a
ladder
cow
points through my 4 stomachs.
I was going to say, they actually, I believe a cow has to digest food by putting it in something, and then it kind of regurgitates it back up in its mouth.
And it goes into a different one.
It goes in a different stomach.
Or it could be like a bird, and you could have a gizzard. Where you like swallow, you have pica, so you just swallow a bunch of like rocks and dirt, and it grinds up the ladder points before it goes through your digestive system.
Yeah, that would make sense, especially for the kind of nerds that he faces off against. There's
Oh,
probably lots
yeah.
of rocks in those nerds anyways.
That was
There would
rock.
be a lot of rocks in
Yeah.
those nerds. Oh, they are dirty indeed.
It's because never mind.
Hey, I'm random, and I got Zerg, and in close spawns, and I'm Zergling rushing. And I'm like, oh, you're really good. This is so strong.
I'm actually curious, like, if you and I got on the ladder for Brood War and just went random, how far we could get. Because I feel like there are so many in Brood War, like, just hard counters to them not knowing what your race is for the first minute.
Every time I get Protoss, that'll be a victory for certain.
What, because you're going to play Protoss and win? So I would love
It's
to
pretty
see
easy.
I would love to see this.
It's
this
pretty
kid against
easy.
the Zerg. I would just love.
Yeah, when you put
to
your
see
pylon one
his
hex
mouth
off,
moving as the lings are just running over his whole base. Like,
I 2-gate those nerds every game anyways.
I was watching Everett stream as random the other day. Every time the guy would ask him what his race was, he'd lie about it and win the game. What a
That is
troll.
brutal.
It is, and this was effort, and so you can't even like criticize him for like. Because a lot of people do that because they're
He's a
not good. They want
cheater.
an easy win, but like it's effort, so he could beat you no matter
This is
what
why
anyway.
he can't do anything in ASL, because he's always off racing and lying about his
cheesing.
race.
He's asking people what country they're from, and while they're responding,
He
he
did
runs
that.
lings up the ramp
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
The ultimate way to BBM. Tasteless, what sucks the hardest about not being able to use one of your hands? I would say just eating. Eating is actually the worst.
I thought you were going to say that you're unable to high-five me when I come into work.
That's a big one. We can't
Like,
fist pump up either.
tasteless, and you're like, oh, I can't do it, and you do it with your left hand. I'm like, oh, that was just...
And it's totally awkward when you
Yeah,
kind of five
fleabing.
like that.
Yeah.
No, I think eating, I actually look completely disgusting when I eat. Like if I get a burger, I'm like holding the burger and basically putting my mouth down and kind of
Like, all right, nobody
like
look.
a feral human, yeah, and I'm kind of burying my face in the food. I've been eating a lot more Mexican food because I can sort of hold a burrito with one hand. And kinda,
I want to bring you to India and actually watch you try to get a naan into the
I have actually tried to eat Indian. This is the first week I had this thing on. It was just, I had actually had it delivered to my house, and it was like some of it got on the couch, and some of it was like on the floor, and it was a disaster. So
So it was like normal.
it was like normal, yeah. Let me see here. Oh, no more questions, guys. That's it. We still got about 7 more minutes.
7 minutes.
7 minutes. We're almost to another GSL Codes Finals here.
Yeah.
Super close.
ASL right around the corner, too.
Yeah.
Super tournament also.
Sunday, ASL starts.
That's insane.
Make sure you guys tune into that. Hey, who do you think the fans think will win tonight? Stats or SOS?
Oh,
That's
stats
actually
for
a good
sure.
question. I would say most people are saying stats, but
Yeah.
did we have a poll on one of our Twitter
I did a
accounts?
poll,
What-
so let me check that.
Oh,
I
okay.
had that. I set it to.
I
run
think I
out
got
during
the right
bunker.
answer to that poll, by the way.
SOS 58% versus 42%.
Really?
For 605 votes.
That's surprising.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm not as surprised now that I think about it because
Do you guys like favorite in your own tweets? I like doing that.
Oh, no.
that's
no.
the way to do it.
That's sick narcissism right there.
I think as good as stats is, SOS has been so successful for over such a long stretch of time. It's really not unreasonable to assume he's going to win in
Well, he
any
knows
match.
there's. What's the prize pool for Super Tournament?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, it's not that high.
Okay.
I think it's like a 20.
Well, once
grand tournament or
SOS
something.
finds out that the ASL prize pool is 100,001, he's gonna go play that and play in that one.
Oh, the
He's
ASL.
he's got to win all the $100,000 tournaments.
He did play StarCraft 1. I think just PvP in general, he's quite good. And the more discovered the meta is, the better he can set up builds that'll screw with stats. So, I think the community happens to be right here. I give SOS a 58% chance to win.
You calculated it.
Yeah.
58.651.
His was
58% of
0.3
people think
repeating
he'll
over
win.
here.
If 58% of people think he'll win, then I mean that's a 58% chance to win, right?
I mean, the
That's how
customer's always
stats
right,
work,
right?
Yeah. I think Stats is definitely got a good shot, but maybe for me, in the way that I view him, he's still a new top player in a lot of ways for me. Like I'm curious to see, is he going to continue to stay in this level of play? I think he will, but
There's
I feel
too many
like
dummies that attack into him.
it's interesting how much that happens actually, where they cross their fingers and, and run right in.
I can get around Stats' defense.
I saw this on TV one time. Here we go.
Yeah.
Hold my build.
I like that. Like, hold my beer.
Someone
Yeah.
asks what foreigners will get into Super Tournament. I think Neeb will, man. I was
I
watching
hope
it.
so.
He was streaming some last
Neeb,
night,
yeah.
and someone said he was on the Korean server. He was rank 8 in GM.
He's so good.
I didn't double check 100%, but like,
Neeb was actually over at my house a couple days ago,
Yeah.
along with State and No Regret. They
well,
came
never
down.
mind. He's not going to make it. Tasteless got his influence in it.
We were.
What you do is you build a cannon.
They were taking turns. They were taking turns making playing Brood War games, man. And I saw Neeb play
How were they?
the first Brood War games he's ever played.
Really? How'd he do?
I mean, it looked like somebody
What
who had
race
never
did he
played an
try?
RTS. He picked Protoss.
He should go with Terran in StarCraft 1.
You think so?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Why?
Because
sick
it fits his
mechanics.
style better. Just
Think
over
so?
Yeah, like StarCraft 2 Terran doesn't fit him. That's like more an aggressive race. Yeah, no, Protoss and StarCraft 1 I don't think fits Neeb very well personally.
He was having a good time. It was just it's very interesting to see somebody who's a top tier RTS player from one game just go to another RTS, because you can see he's already.
Yeah.
I'm seeing him make connections,
Yeah.
but it's so clear that he's
Wait a
got
minute, the
ways to go.
pylon doesn't defend. Oh no!
Wait, you have to leave units back in your base to defend against things?
He's it was really cool.
Who played the best out of everybody?
Actually, I didn't get a chance to see No Regret play. They had to leave a little bit earlier than we were hoping for. State looks the best, but State's already played a bunch of Brood War games since Remastered's been out. But he looks good. But it is funny to see how there are these little ticks and things you can do in StarCraft 2 that you just actually can't do in StarCraft 1, like kind of the way you would spam your units out. I'm like, with Dragoons, you just don't want to do that.
Yeah.
They'll just bug out. You have to be like really slow with how you move them around. And
Like
so I
fighting
was
up a
trying to
ramp
help
or
them with some of that stuff. Like, okay, like you need to treat the Dragoons like they're turrets. Like move them somewhere and then have them in that spot, and you don't want to move them again. Don't mess with them, or they're gonna get stuck or clumped up, or something bad's gonna happen.
Like
and-
just randomly moving them around. Somewhere.
yeah, like he'll like
Like
go.
stalkers are always like, I'm going out
Yeah, well,
over
like
here
these,
now.
these
Whoa!"
StarCraft 2 armies will seem like outside the entrance, and they'll try to find an opening. I was having to show them, like, you just don't do that. Like, if there's Dragoons on one side of a ramp and a bunch of Dragoons on the other, neither one will attack into each other.
Yeah.
Because the guy that moves first loses. So, but it was very cool to see some of those things that are built into them from playing so much StarCraft 2 that won't translate into StarCraft 1. I enjoyed it. We have about a little bit over a minute left here. Anything else, guys?
Squirtle
some
back.
people asking about Squirtle. He was streaming the other day, but I know he keeps saying that he wants to come back as a pro gamer. I don't know. I feel like that just takes like a lot.
He was pretty
He was
good.
really good.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
he
think
was
if he
great.
applied himself, it might take him
Sure.
maybe even like half a year to get into some good form. But
Yeah.
whenever you get somebody that was that good, they usually can come back in some form or another.
People
in pretty
always
good shape.
overestimate how quickly that other people can get into shape or themselves can get into shape. A
Yeah.
lot of times, then people get upset when they're trying to do it. It's like if you're out of shape, it actually takes a long time to get back to a good place. I'm talking seriously out of shape, like you've been away for a
Like 2 or
while.
3 years
Like,
or something.
You know, a few weeks. You know, the rust. Yeah, the rust will come off relatively quickly. But you know, if you've actually been away a while, like Squirtle, like from the pro scene. It will take him a while to get back in shape, I think, and actually have any chance at doing as he used to do, which would be a finals contender.
But I think it's possible for someone like him to do it.
I absolutely agree.
Guys, we are out of time. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of The Bunker. In 10 minutes, we will be beginning the round of 4 Stats versus SOS in the GSL Code S. See you soon.